explain to us, what is the broad business model of our company?
Early 2017, we established Repono. Now, Repono is actually a Latin word which means storage.
Okay.
And the idea was always that we establish here in India and take this company outside India because this model, the kind of model we are in, it is prevalent all over the world.
I wanted to understand what is the potential of each of these business segments. Like you said, we are into warehouse management, terminal oil management.
So I would say the potential and the latent what is available in the market potential is should be around 5,000 to 7,000 direct.
Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash Gorakshakar, and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Konexio HighFlyers. Friends, as all of you are aware, these episodes help us understand emerging companies from emerging sectors in a much better way. We get to talk to the promoters and the top managements of such companies, and we get very valuable information as regards their business model, their growth journey, their future growth plans, and which helps all the investors to take a very conscious investment call. And friends, today we've got another interesting company which is going to hit the capital market. The company's name is Repono Limited, and I have the privilege of having Mr. Dibyendu Deepak, who's the managing director of the company, with us.
Hi,
Deepak, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time with us.
Namaskar.
I'm very confident, sir, that in this small interview we'll be able to understand your, company's operations in a much better way, which will help all our investors.
Sure, I'll try to answer all your questions.
Yeah. So, Deepak ji, first question which I want to ask you, if you could explain to us, what is the broad business model of our company? I believe we've got various segments like warehousing, logistics, which I read in your prospectus and presentation. So, if you could tell us what is the broad business model, what do we do? And, sir, how did this business journey start? How did you hit upon getting into this business? Was it your idea? Was it a first generation business, or was it started by your father and then you took it over? If you could please tell us.
Right. No, thanks for the opportunity for telling us about our company. See, the journey started. I come from this oil and gas background for the last 25, 27 years in this industry. I used to work for companies like Reliance, ONGC, and then in 2010, around that, I joined a company called Indian Oil Tanking, which is a subsidiary of Indian Oil Corporation. And there I met my partner, now the partner, Mr. Sankalp Bhattacharya. So, during all those lunch hours and the tea hours, we used to discuss, what is there, we should do something of our own. And then we figured out that there is an opportunity in the segment where we are in. Either they are players who are really big names, or a very fragmented player. So there was a need in the market to set a mid-sized company who can provide a cost competitive solution and providing similar services what some of the established players are providing in the market. And one fine day in 2017, we quit our professional career. In fact, both of us were working at CXO level in that previous companies. And then we got out of that. And in early 2017, we established Repono. Now, Repono is actually a Latin word which means storage. And the idea was always that we establish here in India and take this company outside India because this model, the kind of model we are in, it is prevalent all over the world. So we kept a name which has a little bit of international appeal that we can have. Also signifies that business storage. So when we say storage, when it comes to solid, it is warehousing. When we say liquid, then it becomes terminal, oil terminals and that. So our business revolves around 360-degree solution to a warehouse or a oil terminal, which is we are into designing of the warehouse. We can do the engineering for it. We do predominantly now what we do now is operations and maintenance of these facilities, and of course audits and henceforth and other value added services as and where the client asks. So we are not into transportation, but we are into the management of these assets and have our own warehouses at different locations. So these are the basics about our company.
Okay. So understood. Deepak ji, now tell me one thing, Deepak ji, just on a macro related question, which I wanted to understand. What is the potential of each of these business segments? Like you said, we are into warehouse management, terminal oil management. You do a lot of operation and maintenance services. So, sir, if you could please tell us, in each of these segments, what is the kind of opportunity we see over the next, say, 3 to 5 years? And how is our company strategizing to capitalize on this growth? So, if you could
Yeah,
please tell us.
sure. See, this currently where we are operating, if you put bundle up all our businesses, so I would say the potential and the latent what is available in the market potential is should be around 5,000 to 7,000 direct crores, and also we are looking at there are many latent market which is available which is currently not outsourced by the companies. So if you add put everything together, we are talking in excess of 10,000 crore worth market to address. Wherein we are there, we are just 50%. So see, last 7 years has been spent only to create a platform. So you will appreciate in the sector where we are in, where we are serving petrochemical sector. This is not an easy sector to get into it. Now we have entered, we have established, we are serving almost all the major oil and petrochemical company in India in some capacity or other. So platform is set. Now the next growth journey will start from there.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Deepak ji, now since you said you cater to almost all the oil and gas customers, if you could tell us some of the names, if that could help us, because typically you said you come from an oil and gas background.
Yeah.
If you could tell us which are the key customers for us, so that we can understand your business in a slightly better way. So sir, please.
Sure. So, yes, I will take this opportunity to take you to some of the businesses that we do, which will also let you and our viewers to understand our business profile. So, one major customer for they are into oil extraction is Oil India Limited. They are based out in Assam. We are managing their crude oil terminal. So once they pull out crude from the earth, it comes to this central tank farm where this crude oil is stored, where we check the quality of the product. We provide our manpower systems, and then eventually we put this crude oil into the pipeline. So this entire terminal is been managed by us. Operations and maintenance is done by us. Once once this product moves to refinery, then refinery produces petrol, diesel, ATF, these fuel. Once they produce, they transfer this product to the marketing terminal, where again they store petrol, diesel, ATF. They bring ethanol. They blend ethanol into the petrol, and it goes to the petrol pumps where you and me and go and fill our petrol. So in this entire operations and maintenance of this facility is handled by us, where we provide manpower system. Sometimes MH is required and others. Everything is provided by us on a single point responsibility basis. Now come below this value chain, and this I we handle for MRPL. So Oil India we are serving, then we are handling MRPL for both their Mangalore and Bangalore terminal. Then we come below the value chain and into the product. Then we are also doing operations and maintenance of one of Asia's largest lube oil plant of IOCL, Chennai. So we are also handling that O&M work. Again, we are providing manpower, systems, forklift, solids, liquids, handling, everything put together we're doing. Now, further down the value chain in liquids, we are also handling a customer called Deepak Phenolics. They are very large customer into the chemical segments, and the entire tank farm of their product, incoming product and outgoing product, is been managed. Operation and maintenance is done by. So this was something we are doing in the liquid, when it where we call it a terminaling business, or on the solid, which we call it warehousing. So say a customer like HPCL Mittal, they are based out in Bathinda. So there we are managing their warehouses, and these warehouse is a typically large warehouses where have 15, 16 packaging line, 40, 50 forklifts, and handling huge volume day in day out. The entire operations, the operations and maintenance of these packaging line, forklift system, everything has been managed by us. Similar work we are doing for ONGC. Similar work as we have done for MRPL. Then on solids, we also got into little away from the oil side. We got into the segment of carbon black. So there's a JSW backed company called Epsilon Carbon. There we are managing their complete warehouse, including packaging, storage, multiple warehouses within their premises. Everything is handled by us. So we are present across the value chain from crude oil right up to the product level. And also these are just to add, so far whatever I've said, it is, we call it on site where we are working on the client side. Also have operation which is off site where we are setting up our own warehouses. So we have warehouse in Mundra, we have warehouses in Mumbai, and which this is one segment which we are really bullish on. We would like to expand warehouses. We have internally we have strategized that in next 3 years we are going to put about 2 million square foot warehouses all across the country. By and large, we remain into oil, gas, petrochemical segment, and in and around this segment, whatever happens. So very specialized kind of services we are into.
No, no, I think very nicely articulated by you, Deepak ji. Deepak ji, now tell me one thing. Normally, with these customers like HPCL or maybe the Oil India kind of customers, ONGC, are these contracts long term in nature? At least you have a 2 to 3 year contract. And typically, how does the pricing work? Like, is it a proper fixed price contract or is there some variable contract? Because you are actually rendering a service to these customers. So, sir, how does
Yes.
the contract work? If you could give us some idea.
See, these contracts are typically 3 years or 5 years, and then it is because it is mainly the companies that you mentioned. They're all PSUs, so they it again comes for a tendering after 3 years or 5 years of expiry of the contract, and these are typically based on a tender base. So tender is open, and we compete in the tender and we win those tenders. Some of them we lose also in the whole process. But what is happening is interesting is that lot and lot companies, and especially PSUs and all, they are one by one they are putting their assets on a outsourcing model. So earlier they've been managed by themselves or managed by a hybrid model. Some of them supervisory staff is theirs, and then they take some manpower and they try to do it. But now the trend is towards the outsourcing. And every month or every quarter, you see one or other terminal or a warehouse is coming up for the tendering process.
Okay. Okay. No, understood. Deepak ji, now tell me one thing, like typically before you approach a new customer, typically what is the pre-qualification kind of process? Like obviously there must be some pre-qualification in the industry before you go for a tender. Now broadly, what are the terms and conditions, and is it a difficult process for a new company or a new kind of entrant in the business? If you could please tell us.
Yeah. So, like the products we are handling, these are all specialized products, sometimes hazardous products, which requires expertise in handling. So, all these tenders has a minimum qualifying criteria that you should have handled similar products, or you should have at least 3 years, 3 years of handling this experience, or the minimum turnover and all that. So our initial stages was primarily to break into it, because then me and my partner Sankalp and our all the top management level people, we all come from the industry, but PSU tender, they do not recognize my past experience. What they are looking at, the company should have the experience of 3 years or 5 years and all that. So initial days we struggled. The start was little slow. By one, we started picking up the businesses, and honestly, the government of India's Startup India program, that really helped us, because some relaxation was there if the directors and all had similar experiences and all that. So that helped us into getting one or two. Now I can proudly say that almost all the projects which comes for this O&M various segment where we are in, we qualify almost for all the tenders. So right now we are competing with with some of the top companies. Most of the tenders there we qualify, and where we do not bid, where when we are L2, L3, or not able to compete on the price. Otherwise, as far as qualification is concerned, we are there.
I think very nice to hear, Deepakji. Deepakji, now tell me one thing, like typically what is the level of competitive intensity in our industry? Because I was seeing that a lot of technical expertise goes in this business, which you carry. Tell me one
Yeah.
thing, sir. Are there many companies, or are there a club of some, few companies which actually drive this market, both from the domestic and the MNC side? We just want to understand how many companies actually are there in the overall market, and how many of them try to take a pie of the overall market. So if you could please tell us on that.
So company is dominated by some of the top names. Like one company is Adani Indian Oil Ventures. Earlier it was known as IOTL. Then Aegis Vopak. Then there is RB Ancon. Then there is a company called IMC. So these are all, I mean, IMCs, Adani Ventures, and Vopak. They're really big in their own right, and we compete with them in some of the tenders here and there. So they are typically in the liquid side. On the solid side, we do compete with some of the names like TVS Logistics and other fragmented players. So there are not many. So the advantage of this segment is there are not many because there is an entry barrier here that you need to have requisite experiences and all, where our clients are a little choosy about whom to pick for their businesses. Somehow we have broken into it, and now we are set. Like I said before, we qualify almost for all the tenders. Having said that, just to add, there is definitely an interest from the outside world. They see India as a bright spot in terms of oil and gas. A lot of expansions are happening. So they are like Vopak tied up with Aegis. There's some of the companies who are talking to us. So there is an interest in India per se, in Indian growth story, where they want to come and establish themselves in India.
Okay. Well, I think very nice to hear, Deepakji, that our company has made an entry and now we qualify for almost all the tenders. So it's a very great feeling that our credibility is established in the market. Sir, just wanted to understand now. Let us keep the financials aside. In our business, execution, service, technical expertise is very important. But what is the value add which we give to the customer? Like, when he comes to us and gives us, assuming he repeat business, that okay, you all have done the job well. I'm giving you another opportunity to service my business. Sir, what is the value add which we offer in qualitative terms? Like, is our service better? Is our execution better? Are our people's on ground do a better job? So if you could tell us two, 3 points in your own words, that how do we do our job better in this sector as compared to others? So if you could please tell us.
Yeah. See, first of all, our the range of product is wider than almost all our competition. Why? Either you see our competition, they are doing liquids. So somebody, if I'm competing, they are only into liquids, and if I'm competing somebody on solids on warehousing, they are only in solid. In this segment, in this niche segment where we are operating, we are the probably the only company where we handle both solids and liquid. So, like give an example, if it is ONGC, we are handling their Nava base close to Mumbai. We are handling their petroleum products. In Dahej, we are handling their solid products. Similarly, for MRPL, similarly for the other customers. So, one advantage we have when we approach, we can handle both across the value chain, solids and the liquid. Number two, we are very aware about this industry because we come from this industry for last 25, 27 years now. The requirement, the safety, the operational part, and we understand. We have been on the other side of the table all along our life. We understand clearly the requirement what these clients are looking at. Third, we have tried to maintain our cost levels pretty lean structure. We know this the requirement for this segment. We devote a lot of time and resources in training our people. And fourth, most importantly, what we have done, we have tied up with two global companies. At some time, they wanted to enter India and all, but now they are our partners in India for providing these services, which none of the my other competitors they have it. Simple one, I'll give an example. Company is called Schmidt. Schmidt is a German company. which is worldwide the number one in bulk handling products. Now we met them about 3 years back. We have now an MOU with them for design and engineering work. So suppose some of our customer in India, they are looking for a design solution, then we get in touch with them and we provide them along their conceptualization, and do we do the engineering and provide the services. With them, they are looking to expand in India, but they're looking it through us. They're also taking us outside India, say Saudi and another market where they are present, where they believe that we can provide those services. So we are also piggy riding on them because they are already present on these markets to move outside India. Another company called Aventis, they are by far world's largest latest technology polymer packaging machine supplier, and we have tied up with them as exclusive right for their marketing of their product. So we market, and the idea was not only to market but to get the operations and maintenance of these machines. Or these machines are the future of petrochemical, and as on date, we have run these lines like no other competitors. The kind of experience we have, which is putting us ahead of the curve amongst our peers in the market.
Okay. No, no, I think very nicely mentioned, Deepak ji. Deepak ji, now on the financials, if you could give us some flavor, like what has been the performance of the company for financial year FY25, because we are already in the month of July. So for FY25, if you could give us some idea, what is the revenue, what is the profit? If you could please share these numbers for our investors, please.
Uh, so last year we did about 51 crore, the PAT of 5.1. Last year we closed the numbers. So we believe this year will be no different. I think this year also we will be able to grow 20-25%, and going forward, and year after could be better than these.
Deepak ji, now next question is, I mean, is this a order book driven business, or because obviously you know that you got 2 to 3 years kind of contracts with these companies. So what is the kind of way in which we can visualize over the next say 2 to 3 years? Will this business be sustainable? Because obviously when you have got contracts, you know what is the revenue you get from each customer. So tell us, does this industry work on an order book basis, or you get ongoing orders and these contracts are going to give you cash flows on a monthly and on an annual basis? So if you could please tell us.
So we have a strong order book. I mean, for this strong order book, when I say we're looking at our size, so for next visibility is there for 3 to 5 years. Some of the contract which we are running, they will finish in say 3 years time, 4 years time, 2 years time. So pretty healthy going forward, which will take care of our existing growth numbers that I told you. These are typically we get paid monthly because we service them on a monthly basis. So it is on a typical per ton basis with a minimum guarantees and all assured. So on a month to month basis, we take care of the cash flows.
Okay, understood. And sir, now for the most important question of this interview, we are planning to go public, Deepak ji. So what is the size of the capital market offering? How much money are we planning to raise, and what is the main objective of using this money? If you could please tell us.
We are planning to raise 26 crore out of this for this the whole IPO listing. The reason for our going public was that what we realized, while we continue to be asset light model in this segment, but typical MHEs and all, if you see the forklifts and other material handling equipments, we were buying or we were taking on lease from our vendors and all. What we noticed that they amortize in 3 to 5 years, wherein this life of these machines are 10 year, 15 year, if you maintain it well. In any case, we are operating and maintaining these assets like forklifts and all. We are anyway doing it more than 80, 90 forklift. Our forklifts are operating all over India. So then we decided that okay, only this segment, while we continue to be asset light, this portion we will raise capital and we will buy MHEs, so which will surely help our bottom line and also support in terms of the visibility, in terms of the integrity of the machines, because they are fully under our control. So part of the money will be deployed for this. Part of the money will go for upgradation of our existing WMS system, so warehouse management system. now, which is working fine where in our warehouses and all where we are operating. However, with the advent of the latest technologies, AIs and IoT and all, so we would like to invest some money there to upgrade our system so that there is more visibility to our client, and also consolidation of, like, we are today we are operating 15 sites, so we should have the consolidation of the entire 15 sites at our dashboard and all. So that is being planned, and rest of the money will be deployed for day to day functioning of the company.
Okay. So understood. Deepak, now let's come to the working capital side of the business. I was seeing that there was a lot of volatility in our working capital kind of cycle because obviously the business demands that kind of working capital. Tell me one thing, sir. Typically, what's the working capital cycle for us? Typically, as you said, every month you get your cash flows from your customers, but we were seeing that in 1 or 2 years, the operating cash flow was negative, then it became positive. Sir, how does the working capital cycle work in our business? If you could please tell us.
Yeah. So typically we get paid on an average, we get paid in 45 days time. In some of the cases, I mean, on average 15 days, 30 days, depending on the agreement terms of agreement, but broadly we can say it's 45 days. However, the most of our, when you say 80% of our cost element basically goes for the salaries and all, and we take a lot of pride that we pay our salary on the first of month or the 30th of the month we pay them. So that puts pressure on our cash flow till we get it paid, number one. Number two, when we start a project, any new terminal or new warehouse that we start, it takes the payment cycle for the first time. It takes about 2 to 3 months too, because we got the project. We need to mobilize people. We need to hire people well in advance. Then we bill it, and then we get paid in 45 days. Then it goes to 3 months cycle. But that's the pain we have for the first time billing, and after that it gets regularized for 45 days.
Okay, okay. No, understood. So basically, that's the reason the working capital has been slightly volatile. But
Yes.
hopefully, once the public issue happens, you will
Yes.
definitely get some relief. Working capital funding will become more easy for you. So that explains the
Absolutely.
point.
Absolutely.
Sir, another thing which I wanted to understand is now, without giving me a number, sir, you said the order book is very strong for the next 3 to 5 years. You got visibility. Sir, on ground, what do you think? Like, this financial year, that is FY25 has been good. FY26, hopefully, can we assume that, considering the kind of businesses which we have, the contracts which are already running, can we expect a decent kind of growth, what we have shown in FY25? Without giving numbers, if you could tell us, what is the mood on ground? What are your marketing people telling you? What are your sales people telling you? What are your customers telling you? Obviously, you must be having, a lot of, L1 orders also in the pipeline. So, sir,
Yes.
if you can tell us something in a very broad way, how do you see the next 12 to 15 months for the company?
Yeah. So as things stands today, we see that this financial growth will be around 25% in excess of 25%. And as I'm talking only on the basis of the orders that we are executing right now, that we this there are a couple of more orders that we have already won this financial year, which we will be starting in September and October. So really, second half H2 will be these will be added on into our numbers. So numbers what I have suggested, it will go in excess of that.
Okay, okay. No, I think very nice to hear. Deepak ji, now on a managerial side, I want to understand that you and your colleagues started the company. Currently, what is your functional role in the company? Do you ensure that you nurture existing clients, relationships, or you take care of new business assignments? How is the company's management team structured? If you could give us some idea.
Sure. So, probably the company is managed by me and my co-founder and partner, Sankal Bhattacharya. So, I mean, I would say he's one of the best engineers that I have ever come across. Even though I'm an engineer, but I'm more from the operation and more from the marketing side. Uh, so he really takes care of the design, engineering, all those project side of it, and he has a overview in terms of the finance, handling the finance part. As far as my work is concerned, I'm more into the operations, business operations, marketing. Marketing is directly handled by me. And then the next level, what we have done, the CXOs level that we have below us, they are all for 20 25 years of experience and have been our colleague into the past Some of them earlier worked in Reliance, in ONGCs, and the IOTLs, all those companies. Now we have got them here in our role. So one is handling liquid, focus on the liquids, other in the solid, other we have a very experienced safety guy who has more than 40-year experience into the safety field. So then it is fairly decentralized by them, which they take care of their own, while there is strong management reporting that we take care.
Okay, okay. So I think very nice to hear, Deepak ji. Deepak ji, now last question for today is, sir, in this business, what is the most important risk which is attached? Because as everyone is aware, there is some risk attached to every business. But in our business, what is the most important risk which we need to ensure 24/7 so that the customer is ensured that the quality of service, the kind of terms and conditions which we have promised in the contract are delivered always. So what is that risk, and how have you managed to ensure that this is optimally maintained from your side? So if you could please tell us.
See, the biggest issue where the sector we are in itself, the product, the kind of product we handle, which requires a lot of safety consciousness, safety culture into the industry. And we are always aware of this. And what it helps is because we were born into this sector. I mean, when we started our careers, me, my partner, and the entire CXOs, we are 20, 25 years. So safety is one thing which has come naturally to us. But yes, this is one area that can derail the the growth of the company, which we are very sure of. And like I mentioned before, our safety is headed by a guy with more than 35, 40 years of experience, worked in Reliance and some of the other big companies and all. So he and his entire network of his team members and all are doing exceedingly good job in terms of establishing our standards, reporting, and all that. And that is one area where I personally take a lot of keen interest into it. So yes, that safety remains one. Two could be when as and when the international players they move into India. As of now, they are finding a route of high JVs or takeover and all that. Then the game probably will change, and game could be that building your own assets and doing into it. But then, if you look at that, also brings some opportunities for company like us. If somebody is coming and looking into it, it's an opportunity for us.
No, anyway, I think Deepak ji, it was my pleasure to talk to you, and I think very nicely shared by you all the information about the company, so all our investors would benefit immensely. Sir, please accept my best wishes to you, your entire management team, and sir, please
Thank you.
accept my best wishes for your public issue also. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, sir. Namaste.
Namaste.